I am fucked. Generally, absolutely fucked off with the latest episode of Doctor Who. I have never seen writing as bad as I have watched in this episode. I have never been so bored with a story in my whole fucking life. This series was their last attempt to fucking bring it back and bring back the audience. And this is what they brought us. Poorly written, crap CGI, a terrible villain, writing on the same level as fucking ChatGPT, and I am done with trying to look at the positives in the series. I was quite excited, for Nshuti's incarnation of the Doctor. I was very hopeful. Season 1, I was like, it's not brilliant, but I had fun with it. I thought it was a fun series. It had its problems. It definitely had its problems. And when I heard it was getting cancelled, I was actually gutted. I was like, he's not going to get his 3 seasons. He's not going to have a full story arc. This is, a bit upset. But maybe they could turn it around with the last season and kick it into high gear. And we got this shit. If you've not watched it, don't fucking watch it. Don't waste your time with this shit. I cannot support the shit I just watched. And it's really annoying. Doctor Who is one of my favourite series of all time. It has been with me since I was very young, and I have watched every episode the day it comes out. And watching it slowly decrease into this shit show actually hurts me. You can tell I'm a massive Doctor Who. I've got a fucking TARDIS there. I've got the full collection of Doctor Who magic cards. I have multiple decks with Doctor Who. I have spent hours on the lore and reading the books and playing it. Well, not playing the games because the games are shite. But my point is exact time. And I've spent like most of my time watching this series. And this new season needed to be amazing. It needed to go off with a bang and not leave the series in such a bad state. It's still got episodes to come back, but I'm not hopeful if this is the style of writing. There are moments in this episode that blow my fucking mind. First of all, the big bad, the fucking AI dude. What the fuck? His name's AI Generator. We get it, you don't like AI, but you're happy to use it to write your fucking scripts. Why was this not a Cyberman story? This could have been a really cool way of reintroducing the Cybermen. They wanted to merge with the main girl, Belle, I think her name is, Bella something or other. That's how I've literally 10 minutes, I've just watched the episode and I don't even remember her name. I remember fucking Sasha, a character that appeared for 10 seconds and died, and then she gets this big whole grandiose, the Doctor's crying because she's dead, and then fucking thing. I've been here for 6 months. Yes, show us those 6 months. Show us anything to care about these characters, this resistance. You showed us one moment where she walked in, they're all standing like that, and then next minute, they're all raiding. They all seem to be scared of showing that people are oppressed by these robots, because the idea is that the robots have taken over this planet, and, they're trying to stop the takeover of these robots. Show us that there are slums of people being taken over, not just people scared to talk in front of a robot. And the robots look dumb as anything else. These big round things they held their hands out like that, and then they're like shooting like that. And then when they died, they looked like they've been killed from fucking the Daleks or the Cybermen. They looked like when the Cybermen used to, do the deletion with the guns. They actually looked like, hey, someone tells me this was meant to be a Cyberman plot. But somebody had the foresight to go, oh, this is a really bad idea to bring legacy characters into because it's a shite story. And then the next time we see the Resistance, they're in a single tunnel. And that's all we see of the plight of the human or the race against the machines. Great, you've got an hour and you waste it on the showing off the bloody X-ray blanket. And then she goes, oh, it's not my problem, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Wait, it's my fault. She turns on like a dime. There's not a slow, progression. She just goes, oh, it's my fault now. I'm going to risk everybody's lives. And then and then it's like, because the reason that she's technically the queen is because of a piece of paper, and the AI thinks that this says that she's the queen, and it turns out to be an old ex who used to be a piece of shit. Oh, and they use the words a planet of incels. They actually use that in an episode. And then the last thing that got me was they walked into the TARDIS and she rattles off a date and time and goes, you need to get me to this point at this time at this date. And then she goes, and then he goes, oh, this is a time machine. Wow, it's a time machine? You must have had some inkling that it might have been a time machine because he says he's a Time Lord and all that stuff earlier in the episode. And this new character, Belle, I'm going to call her Belle. I think it's Bellamere or something like that. It's just not likable. It's like she's trying to be Martha. She's a nurse. And she shows off her skills by going, let me fix your dislocated shoulder. That's such a basic thing. She doesn't even look at a page like multiple. What would have been really cool is if she stepped into, like, don't make her a nurse, make her a doctor, make her smart. And she walked into the underground bit, or the doctors, sees that the place is pretty fucked and goes, okay, I need to do something. She ties up her hair, takes her coat off. She keeps her bloody coat on when she's examining people. You'd think, no sleeves. Most doctors I know, if they've got long sleeves, they pull them up. Or they'll wear short sleeves. Or she tries to, pull her hair up and does a little, like, how do I change these IVs and all this stuff. No, get her fucking telling people to do shit. Show us why she's important. This is the whole thing, that she's meant to be this important character. They're doing it again. Because Rose, was it Rose? The last companion. Like, she was meant to be this important character. It turns out she's not important because it was a road. And then you're like, well, what's the point of us following this thing? And then at the end, there's like the big reveal that they can't actually get home. Fuck off. I don't care if there's if that's a spoiler. It's a stupid fucking... There's apparently going to be an overarching plot, which I'm happy that we're going to get an overarching plot. The best time they ever did an overarching plot was, weirdly enough, the Matt Smith's era, where he had the silence. That was a really cool thing. Continuing this mystery and going on and on. But last season's mystery was, who was Ruby Rose? And no one gave a shit. Generally, it was such a... like, they built her up to be this really important thing, a person, and she just wasn't. She was just a girl who got abandoned as a child, and that was it. She wasn't special in any way. You could have wrote her to be a Time Lord, or wrote her to be something. And then, I'm not rattling off the bits that I did not like about this episode. I really, like, they brought back the old lady from, like, the last ones where she's, like, talking to the camera. It's like, don't mind me, I'm not actually here. Don't let him know that I was here. It's like, if you're going to break the fourth wall, break the fourth wall, but don't do this BS. If she turns out to be a fucking god by the end of this season, I'm going to be so pissed off, because it's such a lazy way of having a character like this. Have a narrator, but don't half-arse it. Doctor Who should be a sci-fi and history show that brings the best elements from both and fuses them together, and is meant to be a big family get together. Like, you get together Saturday night, and you watch the adventures of the Doctor and the Companion, and that's all it should be. It should be an entertaining little bit of horror, you know, a bit of horror there, a bit of horror here, but it's meant to be for all the family. The action is for the guys. The action and science is more for the guys, you know. That's a more manly thing. But the history and, you know, the men, the good-looking men, that's for the women. You know, there are elements of Doctor Who that everybody could like, and the fact that they've tried to homogenize it, like the Doctor's wearing a skirt in the first couple scenes. Why? He's going into a hospital. The past, if the Doctor went into hospital, he would actually not look out of place. He would just wear normal clothes, or he would wear like a nurse's outfit or a doctor's outfit to basically just get the information he needs. Instead of walking up to a desk and going, I need to know this person, he would have just took it. He would have just like showed his ID, went, I'm actually tech, I'm going to just check out your computer, sort of situation. I'm going to do a video of every episode so I can just keep talking about it. But this was one of the worst episodes I have ever watched. This would be this is a definite 4 out of 10. It is terrible, and I'm pissed off that I wasted an hour watching this shit. And I'm not happy it's ending. I love Doctor Who. I've got 2 playmats of Doctor Who. I've watched most of the new series. Well, I've watched all of the new series. I've watched the revival era multiple times. I've watched most of the classic series. I even played the fucking VR game. That was god awful, but I actually enjoyed it because I'm a colossal nerd for Doctor Who. I even have a little TARDIS right here I'm always looking at, and my giant TARDIS there on my desk. And this is what the fans are putting up with. I'm just tired of having to deal with. I thought Doctor Who would be safe, you know. Russell T Davies comes back, he makes it all better, but no, he creates this shite. Two of my favourite shows is Doctor Who and Primeval, and we'll never get Primeval again, and I was hoping Doctor Who would be safe. Like, I have the full season of Primeval on DVD. Doctor Who's a different animal because it's bloody expensive, but I do have, I think, season something or other. I think it's one of Tom Baker's seasons on DVD. I hate doing these downer videos, I really do. I really do hate doing these downer videos because I don't like being miserable and ranting about shit. But that's it. I'm hoping that this is just a one-off thing. I really do hope the next episode is pretty good, or at least decent. I will say the next episode, the teaser looks interesting. The animated character that they've got, I'm hoping that they delve into that more horror side. Maybe we might get some horror, because what was the second episode of the new series of last season was fucking Space Babies. Oh god, I hope we don't get another Space Babies situation. Anyway, no, I'm not going to keep talking. If I keep talking about it, we'll be here for hours. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Sorry about this god-awful rant, but this will probably be a new couple episodes every week. This will be a new thing every week where I talk about the new news episode, because this is the only thing I can think of that I can actually be a bit angry at. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and ta-ra.